I've come here to do some service for God, and I'm afraid I hate to say this, but I'm probably going to receive a lot of hate, and uh, um, I don't think I'll get death threats for this, but it is kind of a risky business what I'm about to do. Yes, um, what I'm about to teach you that I learned almost just basically today, but just very recently, is that trees are, well, how do I do this? Hold on. How do I explain this? Here we go. Alright, let's move me out of the way. Let's not make it all about me. Okay? Okay. So here we are on Twitter. And on Twitter, we have some likes I have. And we'll go like that. Now, what we're going to look up is a tree microscope. Okay? Now, I believe I'm going to actually have to go find the picture that I want to show you that actually proved to me once and for all that plants can feel, think, and are alive like animals, humans. They're certainly not as lucky as the human race or as blessed, but they are alive and beloved by God and should be treated well by you, the human race. So I'll explain soon if I can find the picture, and I will also go into Google Pictures and learn some more and teach you some more as I go through this of why you should not do this Christmas tree thing anymore. Someone told me a long time ago, it was my brother's wife. She told me, did you know killing trees is wrong? And I was like, no, I don't. It's a tradition. I love the smell of the tree. It's just a tree. It doesn't think or feel. Um, mm. So, uh, so, okay, so what we're going to learn here is the difference between a brain cell and certain plant cells. Okay, different molecular structure type, like, you know, the difference between, for example, the blood of a human and the, I don't know, chloroform, not chloroform, excuse me, that is so the wrong word. Uh, chloroplast. Excuse me. Let me go check something. That is the bad stuff. Yeah, sorry about that. Forgive me for confusing chloroform for chloroplast. Please. This is not my fault. Someone hypnotized me a long time ago and did some gaslighting on me a long time ago. Okay? Please forgive me. Okay? Yes. Alright. So, it's not funny. Yes. He did some evil thing to me. Someone did something bad to me. Alright, so, yeah. Just don't worry about it. See, the problem here is I had a picture that had a plant cell next to a brain cell. And it pretty confirmed to me that that certain living plants, basically throughout their leaves and their membranes and whatnot, they have like a cellular network system that allows them to communicate danger or sense where a male or female plant is. So it can release pollen at the right time during a certain windy position. Really? Yes. That's insane. Yes. So during the wind, if it's blowing in the right direction towards the plant that this plant knows is next to it, it will release its pollen. So the pollen travels to the plant and it becomes pollinated without a plant, an animal like a bee or a fly. It knows that male or female plant is next to it, but it's to this vicinity, meaning the roots are communicating with each other. If they're in a vicinity, that means they're talking. Yes. Yes. So, now, you may have learned this from Avatar already, but you probably didn't think it was real. You probably didn't think, oh, so plants are animals too, basically. Yes. The thing about that is the Bible struggles to teach us this. Science struggles to teach us this. And people do not tell us this. So that's why I'm here. I learned this recently. Okay? And that's why I'm here. Now, if I can find that picture, thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. If I find that picture that proved to me that plants are actually, which I think I have already showed you enough to believe what I said, if you don't believe what I said. But I will find the picture if I can for you so that you believe what I said even more. Okay? Because the reason why I say this is because I want you to realize that what we're doing to Christmas trees is kind of like a sad baby killing farm in a way. Yes, the tree is like 2 years old when it gets cut down. Most pine trees live 70 to 100 or more years. It's in its infancy. And and the other thing that's evil is another reason why I'm here. You know I'm Christian. These are Christmas trees. Yes. Do you think killing a life form for Christ on his birthday is a good way to say happy birthday to Jesus and then to celebrate on the Christmas tree? No, that's satanic. Right. That's like Santa Claus. Santa Claus is sort of like the Satan version of God. That's why it's called Santa. Oh, Santa, Satan. Seriously. It's pretty obvious. Anyway. So Santa Claus is Satan, and Christmas trees are of evil because we're killing them? Yes. Plastic ones. Now don't get me wrong, Christmas is a beautiful holiday. Somehow, Jesus made this beautiful and pure. But at the same time, you have to realize we need to stop killing the trees. Okay? Having a plastic Christmas tree, nothing wrong with that. It represents killing a tree. But at the same time, you see the beauty that Christmas is associated with the Christmas tree. Yes, Christmas trees are beautiful. Pine trees are beautiful. And you can tell that it's an obvious tradition in America and other countries. And a lot of people recently I've been talking about why it's evil. Mm-hmm. Uh, so why is it evil? Um, to uh, to use a Christmas tree as a symbol. There it is, buddy. This is what proved to me that plants are animal life form. Oh wow, this is legitimate. Oh wow, yes. The hemoglobin is our blood. Their blood is green normally. See, the thing is, plants aren't deaf. Can you compare, for example, a fly's blood or maybe just a worm you squished or something? And it's, can you compare its blood to humans? Not really that well. Let's take a worm's blood under a microscope. It looks normal, actually. It looks like human blood, right? So we'll take what kind of blood? Like a squid or something? I'm trying to think of all the different variable kind of animals that have different type of blood. You see, yeah, like some animals have black blood. Some animals have white blood. Some animals have clear blood. Some animals have red blood. Some trees have green blood. Some trees have clear blood. Some trees and animals have white blood. Okay, so the trees and the animal are very similar. The plants have different species of them that make them able to have white blood, clear blood, yellow blood, green blood, etc. Maybe even sometimes red. Yes. So, if they have the blood of a human, similar in a different chemical format, but basically the same architecture. The architecture is what gives the life. Yeah. The architecture is what gives you feeling. The cell architecture, the scientific information behind it all, is what explains what allows us to think, how we have a nervous system, how we feel, how we think. Okay? So, if there are similarities in our structural growth, whether you're believer in evolution or creation, this does not matter. I'm a believer in creation. You may be a scientist, atheist, or a Darwinist or something, but you have to admit these details clearly show that plants and animals are able to have consciousness and feelings. Insects have nervous systems. Look at a cricket or a cockroach. It has little, or an ant even. The cricket has little feelers that go like this. So, like when you do something, it goes. You say something, you snap your fingers, and it turns like this because it heard you. Yes. And some people would say, "Duh." Yeah, but duh also. It's like, that's the indication you shouldn't squish it. Yes. That's the indication you shouldn't hurt it. That's the indication it has feelings. Oh. That's also the indication it can probably be remotely controlled as well. A lot of animals are able to be controlled through spirits, demons, or humans, with a high technology or just even their brain. Really? Yes. Um, some humans are kind of scary. I don't have this ability. I never even wanted to. I never asked for it. But some people can actually make a, an animal like a lizard walk and crawl and do what they want to it to make it come and say hello. Okay, with their brain. Mm. And it's easier to do to the smaller creatures like the lizard. It has a third eye, and it's very much like a remote controlled animal. Flies and bugs are very easy to control with wireless technology. Who would do such things? The devil. Think about it. With Satan is the Lord of the air. If you've never heard that word. He's the god of the air. He's the prince of the power of the air. What does it mean that Satan is the prince of the power of the air? That means he can control certain animals. That's why most people don't like lizards and snakes, because Satan's in control of them. Okay? He's very easily able to control a lizard, or a snake, or an insect, like a fly, or bug. Creatures. Yes. Hmm. Scary stuff. Yes. Um, most Christians do know this, but not everyone in the world knows this. Would love to inform you. Are lizards evil? No, they're just they're what you call easily manipulated by Satan or the devil or someone else, but not normally God, because God doesn't normally possess an animal. Only sometimes. Yes, he doesn't normally do that. Or to control him like that. Yes. Free will. God believes in free will. He gave us free will, and he wants even the animals to have free will. They're lesser creatures according to the Bible, but lesser creatures nonetheless. So are we. We are beneath the angels. We are beneath the archangels and whatever else there is out there. We are not the highest creature, maybe just on this earth, in the physical. But there are other creatures on this earth in the physical that are above humans. There are people who are not humans. There are superhumans out there. There are people who have supernatural powers, and there are people who are like superhumans, like Captain America, for example. Genetically enhanced human beings. Yeah. I said that earlier that a lot of people are going to hate me for this video because it might cost some people some money. Because now don't get me started with like carrots and bananas. I don't know much about carrots and bananas. So don't ask me right now whether or not I think they have feelings. All I know is a Christmas tree seems to have the similar structure of a human in its tree and its bristles, and in its pine needles or in its leaves or whatever you want to call them. That is where they have their feelings. Okay, so that's where they can like it. If you look at the Christmas tree or a tree or a pine tree or whatever you want to call a pine tree. There are other words for it. I don't have them in my brain right now. But if you look at a pine tree, what kind of thinking, feeling creature do you think it is? Just by observation. It looks like it has a lot of feelers. Yeah. It's a communicator. Yes. Oh, really? Yeah. Then what does that mean? That means they are able to uh, telepathically communicate with one another or even people. Yes. So this is the literal definition of being a tree hugger. You want to hug a tree that got cut down like a Christmas tree. Yes. Because it's dying. Yeah. You see, it made me cry when I realized my Christmas tree died for me so that I could have a nice smelling tree to put Christmas lights on. It made me cry, and I had to hug my tree because I know it's still alive, even though it got cut down. I used to think it's okay to do this. Not anymore. I completely 100% changed my mind because I realized how important these trees are to me and others. They need to be protected. Please help me make sure that we at least reduce the amount of trees we cut down each year. Please help grow more Christmas trees and pine trees. And just leave them. Please buy a plastic tree, or if you're going to use one, make sure it's a dying old pine tree that has lived its full life and is just about to die anyway, and be respectful. Yeah, be respectful to your elders and also appreciate that damn tree. That those the older Christmas trees are like 100 years old. They live to be 100 years old. That means that tree's pretty wise. Mm-hmm. That tree has been around. For you to kill that tree and then be disrespectful to it when it's in your home for Christmas, just not right. So what should you do? Be kind to it. Tell it thank you. And I hope you will return to God soon. Yes. Now what should we do with the tree when we're done with it after Christmas? Knowing that it's still kind of hanging on and still is kind of alive. Should we put it into the tree shredder? Make it into compost? Should we burn it? Or what? Good question. If we shred it up into compost, that's horrifying. Imagine if you were a tree. Imagine if you're a person you're like 99 years old and you're almost dead, or you're basically dead, but you can still feel. And you got put through a freaking meat grinder. No. Does that sound like fun? No. Does that sound like the right thing to do? No. No. To burn it? No. Do you have any idea how that would feel? Horrible. Okay. So, what should we do about this? Well, first of all, we need to stop chopping down these trees and leave them alone, in my opinion. I'm going to do everything I can to convince you guys I'm 100% serious about this. These trees are alive, like people are. Don't abuse them. Do you have any idea what it would be like if you were born a tree? You can't run away. But you can feel and think. Do you think if you were born a tree, would you trust the human race? No. If a human walked by you, would you feel like it's a good guy? No. Most of the time, no. From animals and plants' perspective, when a human walks by, they normally run. Yes. And trees can't. Plants can't. They would if they could. I'm sure they would. Yes. I bet trees wish they could fight back sometimes, to be honest. Yeah. If I were a tree, I'd say I want to go to war with the humans over what they did to me and my people, honestly. And for being so stupid. For not noticing how actually bad they are for this long. It took Daniel 34 years to figure this out. I feel pretty damn slow. I'm glad I learned this, though. I'm not going to change my mind on this one. Yes. So, can you do me a favor and teach as many people as you can about this? And please be kind to plants and animals. And each other as well. It starts with a plant. It starts with an insect. It starts with a bug. It starts with an animal. Or it starts with a human. Either way, the only way we can ever change as humans or be better to each other is if we actually start treating each other with respect and love. Hmm? Please don't hurt the plants. Please don't kill plants. Yes. And be grateful if you ever have any products that are wood or anything, or if you're chopping down trees and you're using them for money. Be incredibly thankful to these beautiful things that God has given us. If anything, be like the Native Americans. They would thank the Great Spirit and use every single part of everything they ever killed. If they killed an animal, they'd make use of it. If they killed a plant, they'd make use of it. And be grateful. They would say thank you. Not all Native Americans would do this, but most of them would. Native Americans would say thank you, wolf, or thank you, bear, or thank you, bunny rabbit, thank you, deer, or thank you, tree, thank you, thank you, thank you. They would show thanks and be grateful to God as they know them, as they knew him back then, a long time ago. The Native Americans are pretty cool, actually. There's not a lot of information about them. Sadly, they were almost pretty much all wiped out, but they were pretty awesome. Yes. Mm-hmm. From America to China, from America to all over the globe, even the most simple and uncivilized cultures in the world have known about God's existence. It seems to be the most advanced ones that tend to want to forget he's here. Yes. So they have excuse to do bad. Yeah. You know, that's why I believe Darwin created the theory of evolution. Not because it was necessarily 100% true or untrue. It was so that he didn't have to own up for crimes, and he didn't have to practice being a Christian anymore. It was his route to out. It was his way out, and in my opinion, he served the devil on that one. But it was his excuse, so he doesn't have to behave according to God's law anymore. Yeah, he can convince people and make friends for himself, so that, you know, honestly, it led to a lot of bad things, in my opinion. It really did. still is. It's kind of like the law of the jungle, the rule of the jungle, dog eat dog, right? In one of the most advanced cities in the world. I know Los Angeles isn't that advanced, but it's a dog eat dog town, city. You know, it is basically a jungle. It's a steel jungle. And honestly, it's sometimes worse than just walking in the forest. So look at the damage that humans can do when they lose faith in God and stop behaving according to his laws and statutes. When people become atheists and when people become secular or, you know, Darwin, evolutionists, Nazis even, when they start believing they're better than other people, they start doing concentration camps. They start killing the weaker ones. They start planning on how to get rid of people. They do all sorts of evil things. Okay? So, now, instead of, using science to help the less fortunate be smarter or stronger, they would use science for themselves to be smarter and stronger, and then say, F you, everybody else. I'm superhuman, you're not. Yes. So, you see, if a good person can do what a bad person can do, there's no reason to get rid of the weak or the stupid. Oh, I see. Because he can make them smarter and stronger. Yes. So, it's a good example. Like, we're at that point where we can actually make stupid people smart and weak people strong. We have all of the knowledge we need. Every kind of chemical understanding we could ever ask for, we have it. We're at a point where addiction is probably pretty much no longer a thing. All we need to do is spread the information. We're at a point where we can cure alcoholism and all the drug addictions and return people to relative normality by changing their biochemistry and genetically enhancing them and healing them, rejuvenating them. Yes. There are many things we can do. There are many horrible weapons out there, too. Yeah. There are things I don't really want to talk about right now. Sorry, excuse me. But I suppose I should. There are weapons that can attack you from a distance and you would not know it. Yeah. Wireless. That can also change your DNA and your physical structure. Oh, really? Yes. Have you ever watched that anime I recently just posted? Okay. Watch that anime and get back to me and tell me you think it's impossible, and I'll tell you why it's actually true right now. Okay. I don't want to know that. I'm sorry that you didn't want to know this, but it's okay. I'll handle it myself if you didn't want to know this. However, if by any chance, for some reason, you actually want to help me get rid of these weapons, these evil weapons people have, let me know. I'll help you out. You help me. I help you. There's some bad things going on. Okay? In this world right now. I don't like these weapons in the hands of humans at all. I know. And I'm doing what I can. That's all I can say. I'm doing what I can. Like I said, I'll help you if you help me. Yes. So, mm, huh? Hello, this is God. If you believe in God, I'm talking now. I'm taking over. Daniel, how are you? What's up? Please don't think this boy is crazy or stupid. He's pretty alright. Hope you believe in me. Please do. Thank you. So, what Daniel's trying to do is he's trying to help you guys and me. He's not trying to scare you or inform you of things you don't want to know about. There are things he knows about he didn't want to talk about. He probably shouldn't have talked about that one thing. Yes, but some things I want to get rid of, some things I don't. You have to tell the difference between an evil and a good. Some things are good, some things are bad, but a good thing in a bad person's hands, it's almost always bad. So, like, let's say a weapon can be used for good against bad people. It should stay in the hands of a good, but not be able to fall into the hands of a bad. So, you have to be very careful with this. At this current time, technology has gotten to a point where it's very high, and so has information, education. I'm glad for this, but I'm also sad for this. You know, the more you know, the less you want to know. You know, and it is dangerous and scary. The wiser you become, unfortunately, especially for humans, the sadder they become. They don't have as much joy in Christ or God, but Daniel's doing pretty hard. Yeah, I enjoy my life. Yes, but you can tell sometimes Daniel is sad because he knows something is not right in this world. Yeah, and he's trying hard to stop it, but it's taking a long time. It's kind of like the Christmas tree thing. He wants you to know that I don't know how to explain this. This God, I'm going to try to explain this through Daniel, if that's possible. He's not me. I'm just talking through him. God Almighty, if you understand what I'm saying, I'm trying to talk through. I'm trying to explain something to you. He's not a prophet. He's some guy I talk to. He's my friend. Okay, so you understand? Yes. Okay, please. Thank you. Thank you for understanding everyone. Okay, now I'm going to tell you something. If you believe it's actually me, it's about the Christmas tree. Daniel's right about the Christmas tree. It is evil to kill a life form and then say this is what Jesus wants or what God wants. God, not Daniel, but God, sorry, Daniel, it's not perfect. Please forgive me. Please forgive Daniel. He messed up. His brain messed up. He's not perfect. Up here. Please understand that I'm using Daniel as a vessel, kind of like a possession. That's what the Holy Spirit is for, to help me communicate to my children in the body of Christ. I hope you believe me. You have to try to believe Daniel. For a minute. Not everybody listens to God. Some Christians do, and they get called crazy. And some Christians don't. And I don't try to talk to them as much, and I don't love them as much because I don't know them that well. You know, if you're a Christian and you don't actually talk to me, please do. I'm there. Just pray and ask to talk to me. You want to talk to God? Let me know and I'll talk to you. I'll go talk to you. But Daniel's not God. Daniel's Daniel. He's not Satan. He's Daniel. He likes to pretend to be God sometimes. So, yes, because I hang out with him sometimes and I take over. Yeah, I might as well. I mean, sometimes, yeah. It's not of true sometimes though. But like, he's certainly not as smart as God is. That's true. But anyway, he learns fast enough. In America, most people just didn't have any problem with the Christmas trees. Some people have shut down the Christmas tree farms. But the thing is, you don't want to really shut down the Christmas tree farms. You want to just let the trees grow on the plant. Like where you used to cut them down. Just let them keep growing. Leave them there. Leave the Christmas tree plants and let them stay there and let them grow and stop selling them. Just let the trees be. That's all I want, really. Leave the Christmas trees there and don't cut them down. Can you do that for me? Please do. Yeah. So, do you think I'm okay with plastic fake Christmas trees as Scott? I'm gonna ask everybody watching if there's anyone there. I'm okay with plastic Christmas trees because most people, it's a tradition. It was never seen as evil. Most people never perceived it as evil. But if you want to stop killing the plants, that'd be great with me. Maybe you can keep growing them and cutting them down and grow them and cut them down. It's okay, but at the same time, Daniel was kind of right. It's like a baby killing farm. Mm-hmm. Mm. And yeah, in the Bible, I gave permission to eat animals and fruits and vegetables. You know, but um, I wanted to explain something. As much as I don't really need animal sacrifice today, I'd like to say this. The what would you feel like if you were a pig and you were born at a slaughterhouse to grow up to be 2 to 3 years old and get killed? Do you think that would be fun? No. Would it be enjoyable or good? Is it right? Is there any way to make that right? Not really. You know, when Daniel eats plants, or when Daniel eats, for example, a chicken nugget or a pork product or a cow, you can taste the pain mm-hmm. through his senses when he puts it on his tongue. He can actually decipher if the animal was in pain or tortured. All of its life experiences and vibrations are recorded into its flesh. And when he eats that, you can taste when it wasn't quite right. Every damn single time. Even this one. It's like you can taste the pain. Mm-hmm. You taste the pain of the goddamn cow. You can taste the pain. And the fear it felt before it was killed. Like, oh no, I feared this my whole life. And then you can feel the fear it felt its whole life. Knowing that it was going to die. With these sycophantic humans. Oh, right. No offense. But this word I used is true. If you've ever heard this term, I'll explain what it is. Most people have never heard this word. It is an insult, but it's a true description of what kind of person raises a cow on a farm and a field, lets them roam free, and then 40 years later turns around and shoots it in the back of the head. Right? For money. I know. It's like, have a beautiful, beautiful life, my friend. Gotta kill you, need money. How does the cow feel? When the cow is roaming in the farm, in the field, it's like, I'm gonna die one day. And it's gonna be horrible. I know how I'm gonna die. I'm probably gonna get shot in the head or some shit. And bleed out. You know, they really don't like us. The cows are thinking, they like the way we taste. They don't really like us. They're so fake. You pretend to care about us, and you let people just keep eating us because you like the way we taste. You're disgusting. I know. And it's like, so it's like when the cows look at me, they're like, I thought you were our friend. You keep eating us. I thought you were going to help us. And you just let us keep dying and eating us. Where's the hope? Where's the hope for these poor cows? All the cows fear this. Probably even the safe cows people let live to their natural death in a nice, happy place. Probably fear this. They never know whether one day they might be in a situation where their owner has a financial problem and he needs to sell the cow, or the cow gets killed, so for money. So, do you think the cows will ever trust the humans in that regard? Well, we try to be nice, don't we? It's hit or miss. But you can tell the cows are talking about how horrible we are to them. Mm-hmm. We're not treating cows right. The pigs are definitely something I don't want to talk about. How the pig feels is worse than how the cow feels. The horse is like, please don't eat me. The horse feels like people are going to eat him too. People eat horse too. Yes, they do. The horses are scared. I know. Of the human race. I talk to all the animals on the earth. I talk to the plants. I talk to the animals. I don't talk to the plants as much. I will do soon. But I talk to the animals. I just felt bad for the grass. I know. But the I'll talk to you later, grass. Talk to you later. Yeah. Okay, so when I talk to animals about my species, my race, not just white, but in general, human, the humans, I ask them, how do you feel about us? You're a horrible, evil race of whatever you are. Disgusting. Shame on you. And then I talk to the plants. I say, why does it always feel like you're so much wiser than me? And the plant says, because I'm older than you, fool. And I say, but I don't understand. Why does it always seem like God talks to you more than he talks to me? Because he does. I'm like, really? why that is. I found out why that is. Mm-hmm. It's because God loves the plants sometimes more than the humans. The plants did no damage. The humans did damage much more than the plants ever did. Did the plants even do damage? Only the ones that can hurt people and stuff. They did some harm, but not a lot of damage. Yeah. Humans did a ton of damage and harm. Humans are not on God's good graces. He does respect us and love us because we are special, but in general, as a human race, we're a disgusting thing. As a whole, we're very bad. And we should feel bad, and we should change. But I don't know if we can. I don't know if we can overnight. We probably won't overnight. But I hope we are willing to try. For God's sake, for the animals, for the plants, for each other, for ourselves. And no, I don't know exactly what we should do in terms of what kind of food we should eat. I don't have those answers right now. It's Daniel speaking. I don't know. My brain doesn't have those answers. I don't know. I don't know what plants are completely suitable. I don't know if we should make something. Because when we grow fake meat, like fake beef patties, like Impossible and Beyond Meat, Impossible Burgers, Beyond, etc. Boca Burgers, blah blah blah, or yeah, some of these fake meats we make that are actually made from hemoglobins and stuff. We have to be careful with what we make and grow the meat from in the science lab, because we have to be careful to make sure that it doesn't have any form of consciousness or feeling. Mm-hmm. We have to confirm through our science information and knowledge that we're not making something that's alive that doesn't want to die. Because once it becomes alive, it wants to live and not be killed. But as soon as you eat it, or as soon as you cook it and fry it, it dies. Mm-hmm. Pretty much. And, we bring this thing to life and then we kill it. We're playing God and we're not doing well. Yes. So, you see why humans are bad most of the time? We don't know what we're doing. We keep messing up. We don't learn from our mistakes sometimes. Sometimes we do. But people like me have been trying to tell you guys things like this for centuries. Hundreds of years. People like me, Daniel Vidko, have been trying to tell the human race that you have to stop being this bad, or you will face God's wrath, punishment, and judgment. You will pay for what you've done that you know you've done wrong. The more you hurt the plants and you don't care, you laugh at the tree huggers and you chop all the trees down and kill them all mercilessly. You laugh, and then finally you realize I was right about this. You realize that you were wrong. You'll cry more than I've ever cried. for the amount of pain, death, suffering you've caused. Or your selfish own self. You've killed hundreds of thousands of millions of things for your selfish own self, and it took you to the age of 80 until you realized you should finally stop killing animals and plants. 80 years old. I'm sorry. I'm glad, though, I got to the age of 34 and I learned this. I learned a lot of this a long time ago. When I was younger, I used to hit the trees with a sword sometimes, you know, and chop at the banana trees and stuff for fun. After a while, one time I killed someone's daisy or some kind of a bird of paradise or something, and he said, "Please stop killing my plants." And I was like 14. I was like, I didn't have a sword, I promise. I was not walking around town looking for people's plants to chop at 14. I was not like that. I was normally in my backyard with the sword, okay? Um, that's not how I was, literally. I did not take my sword out of my house to go chop people's trees up. That would be scary, I'm sure. Yes. And I'm sorry for scaring anyone or even having the thought of this to scare you. But like, when I was walking home, there was this guy's bird of paradise, and I took it, and he got mad at me. He caught me killing it, and I had it in my hand. The bird of paradise. I just tore it off, and I was like, I was just messing around. I was 14. I was with my friends walking home, and I was like, ah! And then I was like, ah! It was very funny, and it started making weird noises, and me and my friend kept walking home. And I thought about that, what he said. And I was like, stop killing his plant. What do you mean? These are alive? I know they're alive, but kill? He talked to me in such a way that made me believe I had just committed a murder. Literally. At the age of 14, I finally learned. At the age of 14, I finally learned not to kill plants. Right. It took me that long. Sad to say. People probably should have taught me earlier to stop crushing the daisies and stepping on the plants. But it seems so normal that we chop the grass and cut it because it grows back, whatnot. But honestly, I think I should feel bad for cutting the grass. Even though it grows back, maybe it hurts. Yep. So, what I have to say is, don't wait too long to notice you're doing wrong. The sooner you learn not to hurt people, animals, or plants, the better for you and everyone else. Most people these days only cut down trees and stuff for money, like lumberjacks and things like that. Or sell things like roses, they cut roses and stuff. But, which is a very reasonably normal profession. And it's acceptable. Which is why people don't learn how to not kill things, right? Because it's normalized that we kill plants. This is why we don't understand how to respect plants. This is why we don't understand how to stop hurting plants today. Because we're confused. We don't know if Daniel's right, or if we should just not care, it's just a plant. That's how plants feel. You know how plants feel? They feel like, I don't matter. I'm just a plant. I'm just a tree. I'm just a tree. What do I matter? It's like how the ant feels. I'm just an ant. What do I matter? Yeah. This is sad. Actually, it makes me cry. You know, maybe you'll cry too. I hope you do. That shows me that you, and it shows God that you have learned something. Do you ever listen to a song about God and start crying? Or you hear some verses from the Bible and you start crying? Or when you think about how many plants you killed or how many bugs you squished in your life, but you didn't think it was bad because it wasn't a human. But then you realize that you took that animal's life, you took that plant's life away. And the more you learn about the depth of the actual beauty of God's creation and the life forms that are on this earth, I'm very serious about this, you'll cry. Most of you will all cry. If you go outside and talk to a plant in your backyard or somewhere nearby, if you know how to listen, ask it how it's feeling. And if that makes you cry because you don't know how to help, make it feel better. And you know that it hurts. To be a plant nobody cared about. People walk all over you when you're in the grass. So, you know, I should probably go because I'm sad now. I'm sorry. I hope you guys don't feel bad because of me. I'm serious. I just want to see some change in my life. If I can help the animals or the plants or God, especially number one, if I can help God and the human race stop hurting themselves and God and the animals and the plants, I'll do my best. Please help.